No one is immune from the risk of COVID-19. Not even Governor Lujan Grisham, who is in day 7 of her self-quarantine. That's after a worker in her home tested positive. Tommy Lopez asked her how it's going.
She says this is a precaution, and she's following all the guidelines, as she hopes all of us do. Friday was day 1 of her 2-week quarantine, and all of us saw her for the first time Thursday during her COVID update. She's at home with her fiancé, and no one else is coming inside. She says she's certainly seeing how life is different under these conditions. It started with setting up her interview shots. She was kind enough to adjust.
And I'm moving around my equipment. There we go, by myself.
Everyone who's done an at-home setup knows there's some maneuvering to go.
There's some maneuvering.
She says she's lucky and feels fine, just a bit lonely.
Yeah, it's very weird, and but it's also a little nice. Can I tell you that I'm getting a little more work done? And New Mexicans, my grandmother on my father's side, Rita Lujan, would be very happy to know that I've cleaned all the baseboards, all the windows, vacuumed every carpet, and done all the mopping for the entire residence.
It's funny what we can get done. I mean, are you now seeing that you can yourself understand firsthand some things that so many people around the world have been dealing with?
It's a reminder that we don't want this virus, that it requires personal sacrifice. And if we all do our part, we can get through this together. I'm not able to see my grandchildren. My fiancé, who runs a business, is not able to be at the business.
Lujan Grisham acknowledges that in her position, she does have resources that many people don't.
The isolation aspect is real, that the challenges to engage with people are real. And the big difference is, I have a secure household. Think about the people in New Mexico who don't have running water or electricity. It really does put in perspective that it is unequal dealing with this pandemic for too many Americans and far too many New Mexicans.
Rest assured, she says that this branch of our state's government is still working right now. Next, we talked about President Trump. The president was basically under quarantine for a spell. He tested positive, which is not your exact situation. But he did decide to go about in a motorcade on Sunday, and he has made some statements saying that he was getting better very, very quickly, and many members of the press were asking a lot of questions about that. How do you feel he handled his recent situation?
Poorly as you possibly could. This false sense of security continues to put out a false narrative that this virus isn't to be taken seriously. I have no words. It's incredibly reckless and irresponsible.
This is the governor's 4th COVID-19 test during the pandemic, all out of caution. She says that she has tested negative twice during this span of time. And Friday of next week, she'll be back to her normal routine if everything goes well. I'm Tommy Lopez, KOB4.